I, female 33, have been married to my husband 38 for 2 years. He has a tween son from his former marriage. He's always been on bad terms with his ex. They had a messy divorce and hated each other's guts, and it got worse after his ex got remarried. The current problem started when he found out that his ex-wife planned to go on vacation without their son, my stepson. Why? Because her new husband didn't want him to go, probably because it's a romantic getaway. My husband pitched a fit and insisted they take my stepson, but she refused. My husband then brought him to stay with us, not his days, but I welcomed him and made sure to keep him entertained and happy. All was good till I found out that my husband had booked tickets for a vacation to the same place his ex and her new husband were going. Same hotel, same everything. He booked the tickets in mine and his son's name only. I was confused, I asked him about it, and he said he did this despite his ex and show her she can't exclude his son from vacation and who the better parent is. He told me he's arranged for everything, and all I had to do was take time off work and take his son and go. I was shocked. I asked him if he was serious and he confirmed it. So I went off on him, saying I can't just take time off work and go with his son to a place I've never been before so that he could one-up his ex. He ranted about how busy he was, otherwise he would have taken care of this himself, but sent me instead. I yelled, saying I've got a lot on my plate. I work full-time and I take care of my cancer-stricken mom. I clean, cook, and take care of my stepson on top of that. He said my boss would understand if I took time off, unlike his, but in response, I called him selfish and said no to this arrangement and told him it was final. He flipped his crap on me and then told his son that I just said no to a fun vacation for him, funded by his dad. I told him to stop it because I have commitments and won't risk losing my job over an unexpected vacation. And for what? We just got back from one a month ago. He's been ranting about how I'm wasting his time and money by declining to go and that his son will hate me forever. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You're married to a man who hasn't got over his wife, ex, and is willing to hurt his son for some toxic payback. This will not end well. Run. Feel terrible for the kid, though. Hopefully his bio-mom is a better parent and gets sole custody one day. Yeah, I wonder how the timeline correlates with the ex getting married and OP an idiot getting married. Sounds like if she can do this, so can I, BS. This is the We Moved Into the Spaghetti Factory volume marinara flag. If he asked her to, it would be pretty bad but not horrid. The fact that he booked it in order to take off work, that's another level. He won't risk upsetting his career, but if she has problems, what does he care? OP's husband's response has to be one of the most stupid and immature reactions I've heard lately. The poor kid, and by default OP, are pawns in this mess. Even if the ex was neglecting the son to go play with her new husband, you don't respond in this manner. Husband needs therapy or to just grow up. Seriously, hun, he's either still in love with the ex and jealous that she's moved on, or he's got some serious power and control issues that you need to be aware of. It doesn't bode well for you if he's acting like this about her. He's trying to use you and his son in his sick game of revenge. It's totally and completely inappropriate and unhealthy, and frankly, he's being emotionally and psychologically abusive to you. Do you see that? There's so much bigger issue here. We finally have gone no contact with my mom. It was a long, hard decision, but she and my wife are just fundamentally unable to get along and recently had a vicious fight, and I knew I had to put my wife first. This fight was so bad my mom didn't even protest the no contact, so we're just done with each other, but I can't say it hasn't been gut-wrenching. My mom has given her version of the story to everyone, so I get that my wife wants to defend herself, but I hate that she's posting on social media because I find that tacky, and my mom just told people verbally. Anyway, my wife made a couple of posts about my mom's behaviour over the years, which, hey, they were true, but then she claimed my mom wore white to our wedding. She didn't, and she posted a picture to prove it. The picture is not from our wedding. It's from my mom's own wedding, and my wife labelled it as the mother-son dance. I was mortified. I didn't even care about the white dress, but the man my mom was with was her husband, not me. Face was cropped out, and I felt humiliated. He was holding her very intimately, hand on her lower back, her head buried in his chest. My mom and I would never touch each other like that, making me feel sick. Heck, my mom was stiff during the actual mother-son dance. I know some families are more affectionate, but I would just never do that. I asked my wife to take it down and she refused. I took it into my own hands and commented, "Honey, think you're confused, that's stepdad's name. Remember, that was their wedding." She actually wore green to ours and posted the pictures for proof. My wife was furious and deeply hurt. She broke down crying and said I publicly humiliated her and sided with my mom. She said she just wanted a little bit of petty revenge and I should have taken her side. It's been a day and she's clearly upset. Not the idiot, your wife is immature for doing that. Why would she post such a thing, not considering your feelings about it, much less your mother's, even if you guys are at odds with her? She deserved to be called out. Next time she'll be mindful of what she posts. The wife sounds like a drama queen, and she publicly humiliated herself by acting like a petty teen engaged in a social media smear campaign. I hope you went no contact with your mom based on behaviour that you have witnessed yourself, because your wife doesn't mind lying and manipulating. If I were you, I would seriously think about if I'm okay sharing the same house with an individual so oblivious of reality and boundaries. Goodness, I hope they never get divorced. Imagine what kind of stuff the wife would make up then. Your wife's idea of petty revenge was attempting to humiliate you. Your reaction seemed less like defending your mom than defending yourself. She knew what she was posting, she just didn't want to get called out on it. This is the kind of woman you're spending your life with. Your wife went about 35 steps too far. She humiliated you in her quest to hurt your mom. Your mom may very well be the very worst mother-in-law, but are you sure your wife isn't the daughter-in-law from Hades? There's very little to go on here, but it seems a shame to go no contact if both parties are to blame for the rift. Maybe you can have a relationship with your mom without involving your wife. My niece, my sister's daughter, is getting married this weekend and her wedding is on Sunday. I'll skip it because it's a destination wedding. Not too far away, but still away from our main city, and it's on a Sunday. On Monday I work, as do most of us. My son and his girlfriend will go, despite my pleading not to. I told them it's a waste of money and it's very wrong how my niece has her wedding on a Sunday night, expecting most of us to skip work the following day. My son said he doesn't care, and neither does his girlfriend, and they'll just take the day off. But this doesn't sit right with me. I had RSVP'd no that I won't attend, and I left a note in the email saying how it's very inconvenient that they chose that day and how I feel they should be more thoughtful of those of us who work the next day and can't attend their destination wedding. Regardless of a destination wedding or not, Sunday weddings are a no-no because people work the next day. They can't stay up till late for your wedding and then go to work. My niece called me to say how sorry she is I won't attend and that it's okay, she's not offended. I told her that I was actually offended about how she didn't think this through out, about how nobody else scolded her on that choice and how many people will now miss out on the wedding for a silly choice she made. She said that date is special for her and her fiancé, that's why she chose it. I told her of course I understood, but she shouldn't just be thinking about her special and unique date and that she should accommodate other people. She defended herself and said she understands that's difficult for many people to attend and she doesn't mind. That made my blood boil because that girl obviously didn't care about the comfort and convenience of her guests and only cared about her own special little date. I told her that. She then started cursing me out and told me, "Okay, who are you?" I said I understand why people might not be able to attend, but my fiancé and I wanted that date, so whether or not you can make it is your business. Just RSVP no and shut up, since I don't owe you any justification on why I chose that date. Good thing your judgmental idiot won't come after all, who knows what else you'd comment on. She hung up on me. I called my sister and told her how her daughter spoke to me and she said that her daughter was right. My sister said I was wrong. My son also said I crossed the line and I should indeed stay out and stop being an idiot. Am I? Well, this is an easy one. You are the idiot. People choose wedding dates for many different reasons, including because the date is special, but Sundays are also cheaper. I've heard of weddings on Valentine's Day, Wednesday morning, etc. You don't get a vote if you're not paying for the wedding. You deserved everything she said to you. Big, you are the idiot. Going 3 hours away to a wedding is hardly destination. Her wedding is not about you. It is their day and you're so inconsiderate that you have the nerve to try to change any part of it. I'm glad you're not going because weddings are happy occasions to be shared with loved ones, and nothing about what I just read was loving. As for your niece, I wish her a long and happy marriage, void of selfish family. My fiancée, 32 female, and I, 35 male, have been together for nearly 5 years. My fiancée is currently 26 weeks pregnant with our little boy. My fiancée has 2 little girls. The oldest, pre-tween female, is biologically my fiancé's daughter, and the youngest, female young child, is biologically my fiancé's niece, her sister's daughter, but my fiancé has special guardianship of her, so makes all legal medical decisions. Important info, both girls have the same last name as my fiancé. I love both these girls with my whole heart. I would do anything literally for them. We will get married in about a month, our 5-year anniversary. We're currently in the process of me adopting the older girl and adding my name to the guardianship of the youngest. Unfortunately, we can't legally change her last name due to the legal issues surrounding the youngest case. My fiancé and I talked, and I suggested that the simplest answer was for me to change my last name to the same as my fiancé. I don't want to double barrel my last name, as I feel this defeats the whole point. I want us to all share the same last name. This all means that when our baby is born, he will be given my fiancé's, by then mine as well, last name. My parents have always been, in my opinion, obsessed with carrying on our family name, so I knew this decision would upset them. I know it's harsh, but my little ones mean more to me than my parents' obsession. I had a sit-down talk with them. Mom was crying and Dad was angry. Neither understands my decision. They want us to change both girls' names to my current last name. Apparently, that was the obvious decision. Changing my name will obviously disgrace our family. What will people think? I'll make my parents fodder for gossip. My fiancé did suggest using my current last name as the baby boy's first name. I didn't even suggest this to my parents. My last name is alright, but it would be a god-awful first name. I'm not doing that to our son. My mum was demanding I talk sense into my fiancé. Our conversation ended with me telling them that I'm not interested in their tears, drama, or their opinion, and I won't allow them to talk to my fiancé until they're less emotional. She's nearly 6 months pregnant, and the last thing she needs is my parents shouting at her for a decision I made. Am I the idiot for how I spoke to my parents? Am I the idiot for changing my last name when it means so much to them? Not the idiot. I just don't understand why this outdated patronymic tradition is such a big deal to some people. While I can understand your parents' disappointment, getting this emotional is irrational. They're asking you to have 3 people change their last name, even though you legally can't change one, versus one person, you, which is simpler. As long as you don't mind, they shouldn't mind. It's not the name that matters, it's the person. Carrying on the family name is a really stupid social norm. Everyone's situation is different. What a wonderful person you are to do this for your kids. And you're right. Your kids are more important than your parents' desire to have you keep your last name. My husband took my last name when we married. It's not uncommon. It's not shameful. No one cares that we did this. Your parents suck for painting this as some huge insurmountable problem. It's literally got nothing to do with them. Next, tell them if they keep up their tantrum, you will go low contact. I recently had a baby and my parents were invited to the hospital to meet her the day of. She was born on my dad's girlfriend's Emma's birthday. He's been with Emma for under a year and is extremely obsessed with her, like I would consider it unhealthy. It was Emma's 40th birthday, which I do get as a big deal, but I figured he could spare a couple of hours and just take her to dinner or something. Instead, he told me he wouldn't be able to come to the hospital because he didn't want her to be alone on her birthday. I pointed out that that was a little weird, but he insisted it was her birthday and she should just get a whole day of stuff, plus some stuff about she has trauma, so she apparently deserves it more than most people. I was pretty hurt and disappointed, but I held it in at the time. He was the only grandparent who didn't come. My father-in-law and mom were disgusted, but my mother-in-law thought it was sweet what he was doing, so I don't know if I overreacted. My daughter is now 3 months and it still bothers me, so I decided to tell him. It came up in conversation because it came up how much I don't like Emma for unrelated reasons, but I pointed out that he feeds into her by treating her like a princess. I said he was selfish to put a girlfriend of 10 or 11 months over his daughter and granddaughter. I said it changed how I viewed him, which definitely hurt his feelings. He got defensive and left with an attitude. Not the idiot. Actions have consequences. He felt that his 40-year-old girlfriend's birthday was more important than his daughter and his becoming a grandfather. How could that not have changed the way you view him? He can take his hurt feelings to Emma, who will no doubt ignore them and ask him to rub her feet. Agree. He couldn't spare an hour to come and meet his grandchild. For goodness sake, he could have brought the girlfriend with him if necessary. Unfortunately, your baby and the girlfriend are going to continue to share a birthday, so be prepared for this to be a regular snub while they're together. Everyone's the idiot here. He could have spared a couple of hours to come and meet the baby. Yes, but you, OP, didn't give birth to baby Jesus either, and you just sound jealous because you're not the centre of your father's world anymore. This is not a contest between you and your dad's girlfriend. Please stop trying to make it one. It's not about a contest. A family member was brought into the world and you decided that a 40-year-old woman's birthday was so important that you couldn't spare any time for your granddaughter's literal birthday? Will this happen every year? I'm sorry, but family comes first. Not a girlfriend of not even a year. He could have spared at least 20 minutes to meet her and hold her, but no, he passed an experience that he will never get back. The first day out of the womb is pretty important. I wouldn't talk to my dad if he didn't come to see his grandchild. Seriously, he didn't need to be there the day of. He could visit at any time. You are the idiot, OP, because you are blowing this out of proportion. So he didn't see his grandchild on the actual day she was born. The other 3 grandparents were there. He wasn't doing this to insult you. He wanted to spend the day with his girlfriend on a milestone birthday. So your excuse for your behavior is that you don't feel being in a relationship for nearly a year counts as a serious one? You're wrong. Love is not measured in time. You just don't like her, and you're using the birth of your daughter to score points.